Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. We're back. So, Thursday fitness time, guys. Wifey is looking at me like I have lost it. And it's very possible. But we're getting there. Almost done with the bulk of quarantine. I'm convinced. I hope. So, for today's warm-up, just hang in there a little bit longer. We can do it. And then we'll see faces, and it'll be great. And none of us will be like, that's how I feel right now. So anyways, see you guys soon. So what we've got for today's warm-up, we have 4 minutes. You're gonna do 20 shoulder taps from a high plank position. So again, from here, I'm just gonna go back and forth for 20 reps, 10 per side. Then I'm gonna go right into 10 scat push-ups. So for the scat push-up, I'm gonna stay in that high plank, squeeze the shoulder blades together, press them apart, going through that 10 reps. Then I'm gonna drop down for 5 perfect push-ups, either from my knees or from my toes. So again, I'm gonna drop down to my knees here, hands go just outside the shoulders, thumbs turned slightly to face the front of me. From there, forearm stays perpendicular to the ground until my chest touches, press back up to full lockout of the elbow. 5 reps. Then I'm gonna do 10 dead bug rocks. So for the dead bug rock, go, stay. So for the dead bug rock, I'm going to, sounds like a dance move from the 70s or something. Dead bug rock. So what we're gonna, I'm losing it, I'm sorry guys, I hope we see each other soon. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring my knees up, I'm gonna bring my hands down to my heels, and I'm gonna rock back and forth while maintaining a nice rigid midline, and again trying to just let momentum and gravity do its thing rather than actually doing anything super active on my part as far as the rocking goes. Just trying to hold those positions. Then after that, we're gonna go 10 twisted cross per side. So down to the ground, arm out to the side. I'm gonna bring that other foot up and across, get a nice little upper body opener. 10 on each arm. Then I'm gonna wrap up the warm-up with 20 glute bridges, followed by 10 single leg glute bridges on either side. What?
There's a bird trying to get into the window.
Oh, he's fine.
Weirdo.
So 20 glute bridges,
Still.
feet in your squat stance, belly nice and tight, just making sure to open the hip fully every time. Then, after 20 reps, Echo was excited about the bird too. Then I'm gonna do 10 single leg glute bridges on each side. So heel on the ground, full extension of the hip still, trying to keep this other foot nice and low while I'm working. And that is all of your warm-up. After that, we've got a little bit of a skill session today rather than a strength session. So for the skill session, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 5 sets. You're gonna do a 10-second crow pose, and then we're gonna do 10 shoulder taps from some kind of handstand. So again, either from a piked handstand, feet on an object, from a nose to wall handstand, or you can kick up to the wall and you can do it from a butt to wall handstand. Or if you're a straight up ninja, you can go ahead and do them freestanding. So it's up to you guys. But what we're gonna do, so for the crow pose, 10 seconds, we have 2 options. We have the bent arm option, which is what I'll call a little bit of a scale. It's a little bit easier. And then a true crow pose is gonna be with the elbows locked out. It's incredibly difficult. So what we're gonna do, watch out, pooch. So for the bent arm crow pose, back up, no. Give me like 1 minute, stay. So what I'm gonna do, hands are gonna be just outside shoulder width. I'm gonna bend the arms to start so that my knees or my elbows come back a little bit. I'm sorry, I had to reprimand you, you look so sad. So from here, I'm gonna place the knees on the elbows and I'm gonna slowly press from my toes to bring that weight out on my hands. And I'm gonna try and balance here with my feet in the air for 10 seconds. So that is your first variation of crow pose. The second variation is going to be a similar setup, but we're going to be trying to achieve that with the arms nice and straight. So I'm almost done. No, kind of. Excuse me. So for the straight arm variation, what's going to happen? Okay, can you call her over there to do?
Well, she's not listening to me, so.
Go get your toy. Go get something. So what we're gonna do for this one is, again, arms are gonna be straight, And from here, I'm gonna really flex at the wrist. The elbows are gonna be straight, and I'm gonna put my knees on my elbows. Again, this variation is incredibly intense on the wrists, and it's incredibly intense on your core. Super challenging, but a great way to work on your handstand positions and kind of just feeling, really confident with that. So you're gonna do 10 seconds of either variations of that. After that, again, you've got your 10 shoulder taps, so you can kick up to the wall, you can wall walk, you can do freestanding, it's up to you guys. But most important thing is think about it like I was standing. So for me, if I was in a handstand, my hands would be just underneath my shoulders. So I would be basically hip width right here. Boom. So if right now you're imagining my feet are my hands, if I want to pick one hand up and I want to touch my shoulder, in order to do that, I need to shift to the hand that's going to bear the weight in order to pick that leg up and touch. And then when I come back down to do the next one, shift off to the other side, pick up and touch. So again, it's really important that when you're doing your shoulder taps, you focus on that process of shifting your weight. So when I go to pick one hand up, I press off of it to load one side, bring that hand up, touch, and then back to the other side, shift, hand up, touch. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're going through today's skill stuff. Now, today's workout is going to be a doozy. So it is our quarantine workout of the week. So again, grab a partner and get after it if you can, via FaceTime, via household, friend, whatever. Other than that, you could do this workout with one-to-one rest. So you'll do a round. One round is going to consist of 10 or 7 calories on the machine. If we were in the gym, this would be on an assault bike. Or 10 burpees. So if you don't have access to a machine, you're going to do 10 burpees. Again, try and get through them really fast, really spike the heart rate. Like if you had just done a really hard 10-cal row or assault bike, something like that. Then you're going to do 10 squat cleans, and then you're going to do 10 thrusters. And that is one round, and then your partner will do a round. So for this workout, I'm going to go ahead and say that if we were going to program this workout in the gym, maybe like 115.75, maybe 135.95. So it's fast-ish, probably not unbroken. You'll probably do, let's say, like 6 or 7 squat cleans in a row, hopefully touch and go. Take a break, and then you'll do your last 3 right into your thrusters, hopefully being able to go unbroken, incredibly uncomfortably. So that's about what I would recommend here is, again, be able to go do the squat cleans in one big set. So again, 6, 7, 8 reps. Take a break, finish your last couple of reps, and then go into your thrusters right after that. With one-to-one work rest, either with a partner or with yourself, just timing it on an iPhone. If you're doing this with a single arm object, you can go ahead and do alternating arms each round. So you'll do 10 squat cleans. So round 1, you'll do your 10 burpees or 10 or 7 cals. You will then do 10 squat cleans on the right arm into 10 thrusters on the right arm. And then on the next round, you will do the left arm. So you'll do your 10 burpees, 10 squat cleans on the left arm, 10 thrusters on the left arm. So that's how you're going to approach this if you're not using a barbell, if you are using, again, a kettlebell or a dumbbell. So a couple things that you want to try and keep in mind, no matter what object you're using. I'm going to demo with a kettlebell here just so that you guys can kind of get a feel for it. So most important thing is that, again, Olympic lifting is about dynamic hip action. So it's about opening and closing my hips in a fast coordinated way. So what that means is that when I get set up for the clean, my eyes are up, my chest is up. So again, I'm here. My hips are a little bit lower towards a squat than they would be for a deadlift. So again, a little bit lower here. Then it's my job to try and get my hips open and closed as fast as I can. So again, from here, my hip is currently closed. I come through the middle and I open my hip so as big as I can. And then I drop down into that squat, closed hip as fast as possible. So at speed, it looks like this. All the way down. And then again, for this one, you're going to do the same arm for all 10 reps. Only thing to keep in mind is if you're using a kettlebell, you want to give yourself a graceful transition. So there's gonna be a little bit of a turn. So if you watch, as I go to transition, my elbow comes through and my hand wraps around a little bit. So again, just the transition piece. That transition should be relatively smooth to the outside of the arm rather than kind of banging around and causing any kind of bruising or chaos on your forearm. So that's your workout for today. After that, we have 100 Russian twists for a little bit of core work. And you can weight those. So grab a med ball, grab a backpack, dumbbell, anything like that. And again, focus on rotating. So when I go through my Russian twists, it's not this. It's not just touching the ground beside me while maintaining a neutral torso. It's about touching the ground with my elbow while the weight is in my hand and really going from side to side so that I'm working those obliques and I'm working my core in a different way than you're used to, which is again, this kind of just planing right here, which is for sit-ups, for toes to bar, stuff like that. And we're doing a lot more rotational stuff. 100 reps. After that, all we got left is our mobility. So we've got a 90-second half-seated frog per side, followed by a 1-minute figure 4 stretch per side. So let's talk about the figure 4 stretch first. All that's going to be is just putting my foot up on the inner part of my thigh here, and then I'm just going to peel down this leg, so I'm intensifying a hamstring and low back stretch. And again, just hold for 1 minute, try and breathe, try and relax. Then the half-seated frog is going to be essentially the opposite stretch. So I'm going to take this foot, and from here, I'm going to hang it around back. And now I'm really focusing on internally rotating this hip, which is a weird range of motion for us. We don't do it very often. And I'm going to try and lean forward here. This is a great stretch to sit on a pillow. So to help elevate your hips a little bit, it'll make it feel a little bit less like something inside of you is trying to die. So again, very difficult stretch, but it's an important range of motion to stretch because we do a lot of external rotation stuff, like a pigeon pose, double pigeon, things like that. We don't do a whole lot of internal stuff, so it's a good way to kind of balance all that out. So that's your training for Thursday. Enjoy, get after it, and as always, tag us, Forged by Zeus, pals.ithaca, and we'll see you guys back tomorrow for Friday's programming.